Alright. There was a lot going on in this one. I'm not entirely even certain where to begin. The nuclear thing is still freaking terrifying. It's even more terrifying now. You know, maybe not now, but was. We see, Ren use a semblance, and confirmation is a stealth, not just a hiding the emotions, some people claimed. We see John take, Crow out to the side, and then he attaches his shield to his sword, which I find interesting. Because it goes from a more offensive stance from a defensive one. We see Nuclear had freaking tentacle arms and supersonic scream and tear gut. Thing's terrifying. Speaking of which, yeah. He's just, what he's grinning at, I don't know, but he's grinning and just it is one thing, I believe it was Rick and Red that pointed out. You see it a couple times here. It's not so clear here, but in some of the others, and you can see it in a few places in Volume 3 even more, where there's one or two characters actually moving, and the rest of them are just still. But yeah, that beast is freaking terrifying. We see, proof that Nora isn't actually wearing a combat skirt. She's just wearing a skirt. Here. To be fair, from that angle, he wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. I'm almost tempted to use that as my thumbnail. It's terrifying. I don't like it. So most of the other Grimm I've been alright with. Even the, gorilla one. That thing scares me. That thing creeps me out. And I don't often get to say that. You see, Ren focusing in a way like Blake did. Focusing on, destroying it at the cost of everyone else. Also, no riot in Australia apparently, because nobody actually died. I was more worried for Nora than Ren, just because of their inspirations. Sorry, it's late in my day. Quote from the book, or the reference from the book, was, Ned kind of a wrap around, because I talked about it, I believe, in the first chapter, is, when you come up against the crazed enemy, kill it with a single stroke, because, as you saw Ren at the end, just, ripping him limb from limb, that teaches nothing and brings you closer to them. Now, I don't think it's how they're going to go with it at all. It doesn't fit the motif or the way I see the story going, but it's certainly an interesting point. Wish this thing loaded better. You see Nora holding Ren back, and we actually get to see, in a lot of ways, Ren still sees that little girl. That he saw back then. That he protected. And, yeah, I'll admit, from about this point on, it was getting hard to see for me. Just because, in a lot of ways, I don't find a lot of things emotional, but reunions and such, I do actually like if they're done well. And I think in a lot of these, the letter, both were done well. In a lot of ways, this has been the more action-packed finale that Rooster Teeth's done. The first one was up there too. It had a good bit of action, a little bit of closure at the end. Kind of like this one. So there are similarities with both first parts of the acts. The second one had ramp up, and then it kind of tapered off into more. I don't want to say spook because that's not the right word, but more drama, I guess, would work. We have volume 3, was a lot like volume 2, the finale in a way, in that it ramped up really hard and then it just kind of went more story, and that this one stayed fairly mostly action packed, from beginning to end, instead of just a little section like Black and White. No safe haven, with Dr. Watts, who I actually like, as of right now. I like Dr. Watts. That's entirely possible that I'll change in the future. I've said before that it was similar to his weapon, Stormflower, I believe it is. If I remember, I'll correct myself if I am wrong. But, he actually kept the original dagger from his father, which I found rather interesting, because at the end, he actually didn't use his weapon at all. Now, he used John's shield, which is rather interesting. In a lot of ways, I'm not entirely certain how they managed to succeed at that. But in a lot of ways, he remembered that, and then again, where they're just standing around while the monster's kind of there. And okay, this shot's pretty cool. Yeah, this shot's pretty cool. In fact, go screen cap that one, because I kind of like that one. That looks pretty cool. And he's still got the arrows, and he's still got the spines that he actually extended. Didn't seem to do anything, but he extended them. It looked creepy as hell. A lot of those things look creepy, and it's probably a lot. I may watch my own reaction just for the value of my eyes, because, jeez, creepy as hell. Then we get the Mistral pilots coming in to rescue the team. And waiting on it to load a point, because, well, serves me right for trying to watch it soonish. Crow, I'm guessing he does get a doctor or some healing of some kind. Though Lionheart, from the sounds of it, he's already one of, in League with Salem, from what Hazel said. And if he's actually the contact in Mistral, that's kind of bad. There's a lot of things to be curious about. Don't know if I like the implications. This scene was actually kind of touching as well. No, it just might be one of those screenshots that gets edited heavily for some reason. Sometimes she does have a combat skirt, sometimes she doesn't. But, you see them, clasping hands, and in some ways their facial or Ren's shock mirrored Pyrrha's in Destiny in volume 3. It just shocked. And then we come to the letter, which when she started writing it, I was actually curious why she hasn't written before. And apparently she has, they've just not been getting through, which could be for a number of reasons. Certainly Grimm is one of the major problems with message delivery. But it could also be something a little more nefarious. Sorry. I'm talking for a little while. That because Ty had said he hadn't gotten any letters from Ruby. And I'm not certain which Yang is going for. Because she could still be going for either Ruby or Raven. And it's a little unclear about which one she's actually going for. Then it goes over to Blake. And Blake is going through this chest. This chest is curious in that it contains some memorabilia, the White Fang, but her father was never, with the White Fang when they switched to the more aggressive stance. But he has one of the flags from the aggressive side. Now, also has one from the other, which that makes perfect sense. He was the leader when it was a peaceful protest. Now I go to Ty, which he might go to Mistral. He may stay at Signal. He'll protect there. Either way, we have him and Zwei. Nice chubby biscuit-eating puppy. And Weiss, is being a stowaway, which is rather interesting for Weiss, on a ship heading out of Atlas, before they close the borders down. So she's not getting help from Ironwood, though I imagine she almost certainly could. But Winter seems to be in Mistral, from what I remember hearing. And so, that's why she's going there. And I'm just looking at the blurb real quick, and the blurb looks... It seems like the blurb's been the same blurb throughout all of them. Moving forward. Okay, looking back, it is Captain Ahab again. But yeah, that does seem like it is more Mistral than it is Menagerie. So I guess I was mistaken there. You watch some reactions, you see different... Okay. Now this was interesting. Let's see if it'll actually cooperate with me. You can see it before it finishes. But where Salem and Cinder were using Emerald Semblance to help get Cinder so that where she has no problem, fighting off Ruby. Or at least burning Ruby and, the emotional thing going in there. Might have to see a few reactions and gather my thoughts on that. Thinking about, going through each character and doing some analyses on them. But it's certainly a curious thing. Let's see. That's a picture of treetops, so that's not going to help. Alright, let me go with the tea set that Ozpin made for Lionheart. Which, thinking about it, it's possible that Lionheart is the Cowardly Lion instead of Ty. That keeps all the upper tier people in with the Wizard of Oz theme. Also, got a splinter type thing. Also, it explains why he's working with Salem. Kind of jumping ship to the more powerful side. And then we hit the credits. And then we have the after credits scene, which is Ozpin, or Oscar getting Ozpin staff from Crow. Which apparently he folds down, which we've never seen until now. It explains how Crow is able to carry it easily. And we see Oscar talking to himself as he slowly goes mad, being possessed. In a lot of ways, this one doesn't leave quite as many questions. I will admit I did expect Oscar to transform into the older Ozpin as soon as he got his staff. I kind of wonder if there's going to be a time skip this time. Of, more than a week or two. So, for the most part, I don't have too many questions that I can think of right this moment. Granted, I might blink and come up with more. I might, talking with others, I might. In a lot of ways, unlike the last 2 or 3, this isn't really a majorly story-driven chapter. This was more action and a little resolution. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad nobody died. I'm glad, Crow recovered. I'm glad everybody's moving forward and moving up. There was one other part. Is where Ilya met up with Korsak and Fennec. I believe that's correct. I might be getting the names wrong. Alba, I think their last name is. And then she kneeled to them. Which, if Adam actually is planning a coup, it explains actually quite a bit of the Phoenix, or of the Fox's behaviors. In a lot of ways, it, because it's why they would tell Brother Adam and it's why they would work so hard to, in a lot of ways, kind of shift the blame around. It's not quite the way I want to say it. But there's a lot of things about it that seemed a little bit off, and this might explain why, is they're actually working with Adam. Though, why he's attempting a coup is actually really curious. Because from what we've seen, Sienna Khan and Adam share, overall goal. Bring down the humans. Not so much about equality anymore, it's about bringing down the humans. Adam set up the meeting between Hazel and Sienna Khan. Which tells me that Adam and or Sienna is actually at Mistral. But did that meeting go awry between Hazel and Sienna Khan? Because that would potentially provoke Adam to either get instructions or decide on his own to break away. Did Sienna Khan go, yes, we should, ally with Salem, and Adam took that as a betrayal, in which case he would stage a coup? I really don't like thinking like Adam. I have. I don't like it. Somewhat curious we didn't see him at all in this volume. Not that I'm complaining, don't misunderstand. Oh. Just curious to see where they go with Volume 5. Though in a lot of ways, what I'm really looking forward to is Chibi. I like the happy-go-lucky stuff. Even though Chibi was hit and miss for me, I like the happy-go-lucky stuff overall. It's hit and miss, but that's not a bad thing. It just means that, I find different things funny in other people. Anyway, I've rambled on for a while. 48 minutes, about, on par with my other ones. So, I'll be signing off here. I hope you have a good day. I'll be posting a couple more videos. But, until then, I'm at your risk. Have a good day. Bye! Oh, and thanks for watching that. And now to talk about, actually kind of want to fun one who brings a unique view into it. Akasan. Actually a real friendly guy who's gone through and watched, and no, I just absolutely enjoy his reactions to RWBY and some of his other things. He's working on a few Death Note skits, I think they are. No, go check him out. He's done a lot of Walking Dead. He does Flash. He's done RWBY, which is what I know him from. Really all around just kind of a fun guy, just, going through life and working in Japan, which actually also rather neat. Anyway, there's going to be a link up there. Click subscribe to me. There's going to be a link over there to his channel. Over there's going to be some kind of video. I'm not quite sure yet. And over there's going to be a link to Rooster Teeth's channel. Go show them some love. Anyway, I'm at your risk and have a good day. Bye!